Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Let's talk about XRP, Bitcoin, MSTR. We have a video from Michael Saylor, also Tom Lee. Also, we have several polls running, and the question we are asking, do you have fear right now? A lot of people are saying no. In fact, at the moment, we have 63% no fear at all. And I do warn against that. Whenever I stepped on stage with my Vegas show, or whenever I sit here, I have a level of fear. I have a level of nervousness. It keeps you accountable and makes you aware. Those that have no fear are not aware of what they're facing. And that's not necessarily a good thing. The markets are red right now. We're going to discuss why, and we're going to see where we go from here. We're going to look at Bitcoin, XRP, MSTR. We're going to have Tom Lee on. We're going to have hear from Michael Saylor, as well as the polls. Okay, so please tap the like button if you like live content like this. It's unedited, unscripted. I'm here talking to you direct live every single day. We trade and we're investing 7 days a week now, all day, every day, and we're here to help. Everything is live, unedited, unscripted, so I hope you enjoy this type of content. It's great to be back. I've been away for a while, but we are back now. So as you can see, start off with, first of all, here's my portfolio, and I'm up, if I look on my stocks and my stock position, I'm up on my stock position 38.98%. You don't have to be down. I prefer to consistently make money. I don't lose. These are my trades, 94 trades, 91 wins. I win all the time. I've got more to add to that while I was away, and I'll be sharing that over the coming days as well. But a little bit different in the crypto world. If we go over to the crypto world, things aren't looking quite as rosy. If we look at XRP today, it's down again. Doesn't really paint the picture over the 1 month, the 3 month, the 1 year. I mean, it's not looking great. Over 5 years, it looks good. But the 1 year, we're up 2.72. Not what you expect in a whole year, is it? On crypto, I've made 38% on the S&P 500, and I'm about to get $900 in dividends. So what's it all about? Well, that's XRP for you. What about Bitcoin? Up to a few days ago, I held a whole Bitcoin. I had a whole Bitcoin. I was doing a test. I've sold it. I'm out of my Bitcoin. I had it for a while. Wanted to see how it felt. Didn't feel good. Lots of reason not to own it. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Down on the week, down on the month, down on the 3 month. And we're in a bull market. Think about that. Over the year, we're down 11%. Not looking good. Not looking good. What about MicroStrategy? Well, if we go over to here, we can have a look. MSTR. And we can have a look at Michael Saylor. It's starting to come up today, but we are down on the week. We're down on the month, 35%, 49% on the 3 months. I mean, 43% year to date, 57% on the year. It's not great, is it? Anyway, that's all by the by. It is what it is, okay? So let's get straight into it. And let's break down the news. So did you all tap the like button? How many likes have we got on the show right now? Let me refresh the screen. It's saying we have 15 likes. That can't be right. I can't bring you all this news. Michael Saylor, Tom Lee, news from our newsletter, live polls, all for 15 likes. How many we got now? We've got 32. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a minute on the clock, and we're going to get to 100 likes because there's currently 170 of you watching. So we want to get to 100 likes. We can do that easy, and then I'll bring you all of this. I have got some information from Crypto World with Michael Saylor. I've also got Tom Lee. I've also got 2 bits of news from our very own newsletter. We compile our own news. We do our own research, so you don't have to. Structural fragility, and we're talking BTC, ETH, XRP, slide on Yearn, infinite mint glitch. Yes, you get told you have a glitch and accept it. You've lost your money. It's only a glitch. Doesn't matter. It's not real anyway. Hello. I wouldn't be happy with that. So anyway, let's get ready. We got 53 likes. We want 100. Let's do it. I'm going to put the sound effects on in 1 minute. Then we'll get straight into all of our news. Let's go. All right. How many likes do we have now? 32 likes. Refresh the screen. Let's have a look. We're now at 57. All we need now is another. I've been on holiday. 43 likes, and we're there. 43 likes, and we'll start the show. Make some noise. Consider subscribing as well if you'd like to. There you go. We're now up to 68. 32 to go. While we're doing that, we might as well have a look and see how the subscribers are going. Let's have a quick look. Let's get straight into it. Boom. 106,677. Tap the like button. Let's get rocking and rolling. Here we go. XRP, Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, Tom Lee, and of course, Michael Saylor. All of that's coming up on the show when we get to 100 likes. 68. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Refresh the screen. We've got to be close. We've got to be close. And we are now at 77. 23 to go. Tap the like button. Let's rock and roll. This is what we're going to bring you today. The Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, slide on yearn, infinite mint glitch. We're going to bring you the structural fragility. Also some news, Revolve AI, Nvidia investing, Bitcoin falling, and I'm going to bring you Tom Lee and Michael Saylor on the show. Well, did you do it? Final count. Final count. Let's have a quick look. Let's refresh the screen. Did you take it to 100? We want to get to 100. Why? Because at 100, YouTube suggests the content and more people get to hear about it. 94. We're 6 short. If you can tap the like button, that'll be absolutely great. Right, let's get straight into it. So, you don't have to be down at the moment. There's no reason. You can beat the market. You can make loads of money. You can sleep at night. You can go out for a walk and not be stressed. So what is going on with XRP Bitcoin? And are we going to get MicroStrategy forced to sell their Bitcoin? Let's break it down a little bit, shall we? We'll start with this. Now, this is news from our very own newsletter. We have a newsletter come out every single day. It's been quiet for a week because we've been on holiday. We're back now. Every single day you can get the newsletter. It's below in the description of this video, and I'll also give it to you here in the chat. You can sign up for free. You can get our newsletter for free, a free trial, and also if you do that, we're giving you the chance, the free version without paying for it, the chance to win some tickets. Simply by signing up for it, you can get some free tickets to win $2,000. We're giving $2,000 away. We're going to pay it out in XRP live on the show. We've done it many times before, and we're going to do it again on New Year's Eve. So if you'd like to win, some $2,000, you absolutely can, and we will give it to you live on the show. So if you want to be in our competition, it's martynlucas.com/giveaway. It's free to enter, free for all, costs absolutely nothing. You might as well enter, and you can get tickets when you sign up for our free newsletter, the trial. There is the giveaway. We're giving away money all the time. We like doing it. So once again, there is the newsletter in the chat. All right, so let's start with this news about MicroStrategy. Then we're going to go into Bitcoin. We're going to go into XRP as well. And we're going to hear from Tom Lee. And we're also going to hear from Michael Saylor. So structural fragility, tether, and strategy. Beyond flows and rates, again, this is from our very own newsletter that comes to you every day. It's got an app and everything else. We have an XRP special as well. All this is available for free, and if you want to sign up for the full plan, then you can. Anyway, you can try it for free. Everyone should try it for free. Beyond flows and rates, two critical pillars of the crypto market are facing credibility challenges. First, S&P Global Ratings downgraded Tether. Now, this is an important coin, an important structure, USDT to 5 week, its lowest possible score. Now, this is important. This could break the whole crypto sector if this goes. Its lowest possible score. The agency cited persistent gaps in disclosure and warned that a significant drop in Bitcoin prices could leave the stablecoin under-collateralized. Now, if you want more on this, Sensei will be live in the morning, 1 hour before me, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, or 12:30 in the UK. He will be live 1 hour before me, going into more detail and giving you the charts how you can trade this should you wish to remain in. I will tell you, I've sold my Bitcoin and I've sold my XRP, made money on it. I'm not in it at the moment. There's no reason to be. I can make more money owning the S&P, and that's what I'm doing. Anyway, this renewed fears regarding counterparty risk in the market's main settlement currency. Now then, let's come on to strategy. Second, strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, is facing a dangerous feedback loop. The company's market net asset value, MNAV, has fallen to 1.19x. CEO Phong Le. Need to remember, Michael Saylor is not the CEO. He doesn't make the ultimate decision, and they could decide to sell their Bitcoin and there's nothing he can do to stop it. So CEO Phong Le indicated that if the metric falls below 1, and it's pretty close, the company might be forced to sell Bitcoin as a last resort. Of course, they don't want to do that, do they? Selling it when it's a loss. I mean, a lot of their Bitcoin is below current prices. They bought some higher, losing money, and of course, driving Bitcoin down. If MicroStrategy starts selling Bitcoin, everybody else will. And we go to the target of 50,000. I've been saying repeatedly that crypto would crash. No one liked it. But I told you when we started season 5, we're not here to sell videos. We're not here to tell you what you want to hear. We're here to tell you the truth. I'm here to provide a service I can be proud of, not to sell. I'm not sponsored by anyone. That's the difference. We are self-funded on this channel. No one pays me to say anything. So CEO Phong Le indicated that if the metric falls below 1x, the company might be forced to sell Bitcoin as a last resort to fund dividend payments. Given that strategy holds 56 billion in Bitcoin, any forced selling could trigger a reflective downward spiral. Now then, that may just be for Bitcoin, of course, but it will send all other coins down because at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the daddy. That's the way it works, whether we like it or not. That's how it is. Right, let's move on to this bit of news. Now, part of this will be built into our news around the yen carry trade, which I've been saying as well will unwind. It's already started to unwind. If the yen carry trade continues to unwind, then the market is down 40%. That would make crypto down 80 or 90%. So if you're in leverage, you're going to lose everything. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anyway, BTC, Ethereum, XRP slide on Yearn. Infinite mint glitch. You've been hearing Tom Lee talk about this. We'll have Tom Lee on the show in a second, and Michael Saylor. And they've been speaking about this glitch. It's like it's okay. Oh, don't worry about it. Everybody got margin called on a glitch, but don't worry about it. You'll be compensated. Yeah, whatever. What a load of bloody nonsense. I would not be happy about that, would you? Well, people aren't happy about it. That's the reality of it. Anyway, let's break this down. I want to thank Sensei's wife for doing these amazing graphics. Again, this is all in our own newsletter. If you want it again, free trial, and you can win tickets to win our $2,000 giveaway as well. There is the newsletter. We will come to comments and questions at the end, members only. I will answer everybody's question. At the end of this, there'll be a members special where we will continue the same theme of the show automatically. You won't have to go anywhere, but it'll be members only. We like to close the last 20 minutes of the show with members only. We have now nearly everybody a member, and they deserve to be answered and everyone to have their say. So at the end of this, I will do comments and questions for the members. If you want to become a member, there is the link. So Bitcoin and the broader crypto complex sold off into the Asia Open after Yearn. Finance disclosed a critical exploit in its YETH liquidity pool. An attacker utilized an infinite mint vulnerability to print tokens and drain roughly 9 million in liquid staking assets, routing 1,000 ETH through Tornado Cash to obfuscate the trail. While Yearn confirmed its core V2 and V3 vaults remain secure, the incident triggered hundreds of millions in derivative liquidations, dragging Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP down into the red. The dollar loss here is relatively small, but the outside market reaction reveals serious structural fragility. Investors were already on edge following a weak November and ETF outflows, so this headline acted as a spark in a room full of gas. The heavy liquidation suggests traders were over-leveraged and betting on a December rebound that didn't materialize. Furthermore, seeing a blue-chip DeFi protocol like Yearn suffer an exploit just days after the Upbit hack reignites fears about smart contract risk and possibility in the liquid staking sector. I'm going to bring this into play as well. I'm going to add this to it, and then I'm going to show you Tom Lee and also Michael Saylor. If you want the newsletter, there it is. If you want to become a member, we're going to go members at the end for live comments and questions. I will answer everybody's question. Please tap the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. That would be absolutely lovely. This year, we're going to 500,000 subscribers. China goes dark on housing data. This is important. We're also talking about the yen carry trade, which I will bring up in more detail tomorrow. And in Sensei's show, he'll be covering this again, thanks to Sensei's wife, for these amazing graphics in our very own newsletter. I'm going to bring this to you, and then we'll bring Tom Lee on the show and also Michael Saylor. And more headlines. China's Housing Bureau has ordered the country's two leading private data agencies to stop publishing monthly sales figures for the top 100 developers. The blackout hit on November the 30th, effectively binding retail investors to real-time market health. The timing is aggressive. It arrived just days after Vank, a massive stated-backed developer historically viewed as a safe haven, asked to delay repayment on a 2 billion yuan, 282.5 million onshore bond. That distress signal sent Vank's 2027 bonds crashing from 85 cents on the dollar to roughly 40 cents in under a week. Now, if you're wondering what this has got to do with crypto, the overall the economy is breaking. We've got lots of issues at the moment which we need to pay attention to. The rest of this story you can get from the newsletter. This will be in tomorrow's newsletter, so you can pick it up right there and continue in more detail. Sensei will also give you his latest charts in the newsletter in the morning. Right, what we're going to do now is I want to bring you Tom Lee and Michael Saylor as well, and see what they have to say to this. So let's first of all start off with this. I want to bring this in for you and see what you make of this. Here we go.
Now that we're approaching the end of the year, we're about to kick off 2026. At a high level, what is your outlook for Bitcoin in the new year?
Bullish. I think that the exciting developments in the asset class are bank acceptance and credit development in the.
Now, of course, he's very bullish, as you'd expect, and he's going to talk now about the banks, the ETFs. However, since we had more clarity, it's got the asset class as a whole has gone down. Since we had the ETF, things have gone down because they're able to dump as well as buy. Remember, people admit that and think, okay, it's great. Now institutions can buy. They can also sell and take money off the table. And that's what's happened. I also said that would have no bounce on the price with the ETF. And we didn't. In fact, it sold off as I said it would. Let's hear what he has to say about that.
Banking network. So we've seen about half of the large banks in the United States start to extend credit against IBIT in the past 6 months. And a number of banks like Charles Schwab and Citi have announced they're going to start to custody Bitcoin and extend credit against it in the first half of 2026.
Interesting. I did go through and I wanted to look at as many balance sheets as I could while on holiday and see who actually owns Bitcoin. In the S&P, guess what? Other than crypto projects like Michael Saylor, like Strategy, and so on, I couldn't find anybody in the S&P 500. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody will tell me. We'll have a members-only debate and Q&A at the end. But I couldn't find a single company in the S&P 500 other than a crypto project who owns Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They might privately own it, the CEO might own some or whatever, but I could not find anybody other than crypto projects in the S&P 500 that have it on their balance sheet. That's important.
So I think that the real story in 26 is banker acceptance of Bitcoin, willingness to custody it, trade it, and extend credit against it. And that should catapult the asset class to new levels.
And this week, Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley argued that the 4-year crypto cycle is over. And FundStrat's Tom Lee made the same argument, saying that the classic 4-year Bitcoin cycle is dead. What is your reaction to that? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that the 4-year cycles are based on the Bitcoin halving. And the Bitcoin halving was really important for the first 12 years of the asset because...
Someone just said in the chat, Higher Energy Investments said, GameStop owns Bitcoin. Does it have it on its balance sheet as a reserve? There's a difference. We're not on about investing in Bitcoin. We're on about having it as cash, as a reserve. There is a big difference. People might invest in Bitcoin, but do they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet? In other words, it's like a cash alternative. T-bills, cash is I have cash, I have T-bills. Okay. When you talk about Warren Buffett, he doesn't own just cash. His cash is in cash equivalents. That being T-bills. Anyway, I'm being told High Energy Investments, GameStop, does hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet as a reserve. Okay, I will look into that and check that for myself. So thank you for that updated information. Always good to get more and more information. That's why we're live. That's why we don't make these edited. We make them live, so everything's accountable. Let's listen in.
We were cutting the amount of Bitcoin that was being cut from the supply was very material, relevant relative to the demand in the market. But right now you're seeing days when Bitcoin trades $50 billion or $100 billion in a single day. The total amount of the
yes, we are live.
Halving is going to
There's
be
the clock right above
Bitcoin.
my head.
So 225
There's
Bitcoin times even 100,000 of coins, it's $20 million a day is the impact of the halving. And so $20 million isn't the first order impact on a $50 billion a day liquidity. It's not even a second order impact. It's probably a third order issue. The primary drivers of Bitcoin right now are the structural developments in the market. For example, if the banks extend $50 billion worth of credit, right, that dwarfs 20 million a day in the halving. And then
if you've just tuned in, we're listening to what Michael Saylor has to say. We've got Tom Lee in a moment. We've got live Q&A coming up. We've just covered 2 major stories from our newsletter. If you missed it, please rewind it. If you've just tuned in, please tap the like button. Consider subscribing. And we are giving away $2,000 as well. martynlucas.com/giveaway in our free giveaway. If you want more details of that, simply go to my X and you'll find it there, or it's always below every video, every live stream. I'm going to break in from Michael Saylor for a moment, and I want to hear Tom Lee giving his thoughts on where we are in this interview at the moment. So I'm going to do that for you now. Here's Tom Lee, just a few hours ago, appeared on CNBC from Tokyo, actually.
Are you still bullish on crypto and stocks going into year end?
I am. I think the biggest tailwind that's going to emerge in the next couple of weeks.
I just want to say before we hear what Tom Lee says, look on his jacket. Look on his jacket. He has GRNY. It's Granny Shots. Granny Shots is his ETF. I want to be clear. Tom Lee is great. I like Tom Lee. Very clever, very knowledgeable. However, he is a salesman. He's advertising his own ETF. He's paid to go on CNBC. He's paid to promote his products. He's a spokesperson, even though he is an important one. He is representing different things to promote them. Very much Ethereum, as you know, is very much involved with Bitmine. So he's been saying that we're going to have 200,000 by the end of the year. Now it's 100,000 maybe by January. Now 100,000 by the end of January. So at the end of the day, just keeps moving it. And very often, because of this guy's character, he can say stuff and people forget. He just keeps pushing it out all the time. It's not the way I like to invest. But anyway, let's hear what he has to say about the whole sector.
Is around the central bank. The Fed is set to cut in December, but also today is the day that quantitative tightening ends. And as you know, the Fed's been shrinking its balance sheet since.
There you go. Did you see that? That barcode there. That's how you can sign up for Tom Lee's Fundstrat research. He's literally advertising his own business. So let's not remember, he's not your financial advisor. He's here to sell his information.
April 2022, it's been a pretty big headwind for market liquidity. The last time we had an end to QT, quantitative tightening, was September 2019. And if you look back at that period, the markets really responded well. I think within 3 weeks rallied more than 17%. So I do think the timing of QT ending, which is now essentially QE starting.
Do not think for a moment we're going to rally 17% on the market in the next few weeks. At best, I'm 100% certain that we'll have 5%. That's why I'm all out of margin, and I've got my position in the S&P. I'm up. I've beaten the market. I've beaten Berkshire Hathaway. I've beaten the Bitcoin. I do not believe for a second there's anything close to 17% in the next few weeks. Maybe 5%, 17%, absolutely not.
And the Fed, and at a time when November kind of was topsy-turvy, so I think people got cautious, but now have to performance chase, and then you have a really typically a seasonal tailwind. So I'm pretty bullish into December, even with maybe the first day being rocky.
Yep. So it's still all about the Fed, because I was thinking there is a time when a market can hit an inflection point where.
Let's be absolutely clear. A lot of people keep saying this. When we get rate cuts, it's going to be great. Brings liquidity in the market. However, remember, 30% of the growth is of the S&P are companies that don't require rate cuts. In fact, they like rate cuts high up. Why? When we last boomed, when the S&P started to boom a couple of years ago, we were at much higher rates. We were at higher rates than we are now. And then we were putting it up. We were making it higher. It doesn't bother Amazon, doesn't bother Apple, doesn't bother Microsoft, doesn't bother Google, because the majority of their profits come from enterprise spending from themselves. They do not require it. Who requires rate cuts? Small companies, the Russell, new companies that are starting out, startups, and crypto likes it. However, we've got a price in now since Williams came on after Jerome Powell and said, we're going to get a rate cut. It was now confirmed a leak from Jerome Powell. He let it out. This is how we do it. Jerome Powell can't leak it. He gives it to one of his mates. He gave it to the president of the Fed. Williams released it. Basically, we are going to get a rate cut. Anyone who doesn't think we are has been under a rock. We're going to get a rate cut unless they want to spike us again. But anyway, we're going to get a rate cut, except Bitcoin isn't rallying because people aren't buying. All over X now, everyone's saying, why is Bitcoin going down? Sailor's buying, this person's buying. No, they're not. They're not buying. If they were buying, it'd be going up. I don't understand why people keep saying one thing and clearly people aren't buying. They're definitely selling.
The reason the Fed is cutting becomes a problem for the markets. That's what I thought. With the jobs and everything else, there might come a time where purely Fed cuts or the backdrop is that there is some weakness in the market, in the economy. You don't see that?
I mean, I'd say that the shutdown put a blackout on data, and I think that created a bit of anxiety because, you know, markets like visibility. But to me, the fact that claims have been behaving And the September jobs report kind of showed a bit of a recovery. I think the labor market's probably holding fine, but the Fed doesn't want that to worsen. But I think the inflation story has actually weakened a lot. So to me, the Fed would be cutting for the right reasons, which is as they look at the next 12 months, the tariff inflation impacts are fading,
True.
but there's risk on the job market. So, I mean, I think it's cutting for the right reason, which is, real rates are tightening if they don't cut.
Here's what concerned me about a couple of weeks ago, Tom, with the market's behavior, and that was watching all of the AI high flyers dip and drop, and pretty precipitously in some cases, because it looked like the Fed wasn't going to cut. That raised questions about what was happening in the private markets, and it made me start to wonder, okay, are we looking at a lot of business models that don't work if the Fed doesn't continue to cut rates? Are these the business models that are...
Let's see if Tom Lee agrees with me. I haven't heard this yet, so I don't know what he's going to say. If we don't get rate cuts, it will not affect the majority of the S&P 500. It won't. The only thing it might do is get a bit more of a sell-off because we've kind of priced in a rate cut. You might go, well, we priced in a rate cut and we're selling off. Crypto is selling off. The S&P is doing okay. If you look at the S&P, it's not really doing that. It's not that bad, is it? You can see I'm 30% up on year to date, or 38 if I look at my stocks. And we're a bit down today, but if we go over the week or the month, we're still near all-time highs. So if we don't get a rate cut, there's not that much going to happen, but it will, of course, absolutely decimate crypto at the moment, because if you thought it was bad now, the reason why it was selling off, folks, is because of the issue over the yen carry trade. That's a real issue. There's that. There's also the fact that now we've got a lot more manipulation. People like Bitcoin because it was decentralized and it was this free thing that wasn't controlled by the government. Then you got acceptance, and now you have control. You definitely have control. And institutions are taking control of it. And people get very excited, and they retail investors overborrow. Then they have these glitches. Everyone loses their money because they don't have the emotion like we all do, let's be honest. And there's control. There's definite control now with institutions.
Are driving and powering the market right now. That's the one thing that made me sit up and say, that's a little different.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of soul searching, Becky, in November, because we know leverage rose, and we know there was deleveraging in some markets like crypto, and we know margin debt's high. And I think that there was essentially a reset in November because the market had a 6% decline.
Let's just talk about margin for a moment. We covered it on this morning's show, how to use margin for crypto. When I bought my single Bitcoin, I bought a whole Bitcoin. I paid $87,000 for it a couple of weeks ago. I put it on my X. I told you all about it. If you missed my X, there's my X. And if you go and follow me, you can win tickets to be in our giveaway as well. I'll give you the link for that at the end. Live Q&A coming up for my members at the end as well. To stand by for live Q&A, where I'll answer everyone's questions. But it used to be on Robinhood. On Robinhood, you used to have margin for crypto, and you still do, but now it's regarded as a withdrawal. So it's completely different. So when I spent $87,000 and bought a Bitcoin, my portfolio is so strong, I had like about 80%. It'd have to fall before I got a margin call. With or without that Bitcoin was regarded as a withdrawal, like taking cash out. If you take cash out of your Robinhood account and put it in your bank, that's what it's like, right? It's not risking on the cash. The cash is gone. It's just 100%. It's just gone, right? So if Bitcoin goes to zero, it wouldn't have affected it wouldn't have margin called me. However, what a lot of people are doing, they're not doing that. They're using leverage on other platforms to buy Bitcoin, and they're going up to 100, even more, and then at 100 leverage, you've only got to go down like 1% and you get wiped out. And I'm not being funny. Anyone who buys crypto with 100 times leverage, and you're an idiot. because of course crypto moves more than 1%. It goes down 10%, 20%, up 20%. So you're just playing Russian roulette with yourself. So if you are leveraging, and a lot of people are, you should, if you aren't doing it, you do it like I do it, and you simply use it as cash, and that's it. Because crypto is volatile enough. Why are you pouring gas on gas? You buy crypto because you don't want a slow-moving asset like the S&P. If 38% is slow in 1 year, that's what I've made. If you want more than that, you want 100% a year, every flipping year, forever and ever, then you've already got that. Then just buy it like I would on Robinhood. Don't use leverage, because you're already getting 100, you're hoping you're going to get 100% a year. Why the hell would you even risk it to try to get 200, 300, 400? It all comes down to people are lazy, and that's what's given birth to all of this. Everybody wants everything instantly, and nobody wants to wait more than 5 minutes, and hence everyone keeps getting burnt every 5 minutes. It's not rocket science, is it?
But the AI stocks and the meme names and a lot of other names fell even more. So I think that position reset has been healthy. And I think many fund managers we talked to in November, in the midst of all that, kind of threw in the towel, thought the rest of the year was sort of a write-off. And now if December is strong, there's going to be a bit of performance chasing. And I think that's what you should typically expect in the final weeks of the year.
Darren Hetherington, I will do live Q&A at the end, but I will answer this one. Darren Hetherington said, still don't understand how some coins, I'm not going to read that out, are worth more than XRP. They're not worth more. The price is the price. You're misunderstanding the price. Price is a weighing price is a voting machine, and value is what you get. Don't confuse value with price. Price is the price people are paying on the day. And if you've got a coin that's 0.00000001, and then you've got another coin that's $1, all right? The 0.00001 isn't cheaper than the $1. Depends how many coins there are in the market cap. How many coins make up the business? If my business earned $100 a year, and I sold you my business, I had one share of my business, it would be $100 for the share. Or I had $100, I had 100 shares at $1, still the same value. Do not think something is cheaper because the price of the single coin is less. You've got to look at the value of the market cap. And of course, you can't value a market cap, a business, because it doesn't have any value, doesn't make any money. So you can't value it the same way as my business, YouTube. I know how much money I earn, how much money I spend, what my profit is. Simple as that, right? You can't do that with crypto. So don't confuse saying a rubbish coin out there is cheaper than XRP. You can't value it like that. And if you are valuing it like that, you're not understanding how to value a business, and you're not valuing crypto. And I guarantee you're going to lose all your money. Just saying.
I thought it was when we saw Bitcoin sell off and sort of the high flyers sell off on the notion that Powell got hawkish at that one, whatever it was, that one meeting. And then Williams totally turned that around, and the Fed futures jumped, and it became...
They can't say this on CNBC, but I will tell you, as I speak to Bank of America directly, I speak to Robinhood directly. I have friends all over the place, friends at Ripple. I want to get Brad Garlinghouse on the show, as you know. When Williams spoke, it was from Jerome Powell. It was leaked to Williams. Jerome Powell can't say it, but Williams can. The president came out and said it, and basically it was done to protect the markets from free fall. So if you think things are bad now, they would have been a lot worse if Williams hadn't come out and hinted, in the near future, we're going to get rate cuts, obviously December. That's kind of how the system works.
Came clear they're definitely cutting again, and we got very little for that. With Bitcoin should be back at 100.
It should.
If it really is totally dependent on Fed easing. And if it's a debasement trade, which people say it is, we didn't get much for now. Everybody, you're sure that they're going to cut now. There was a time where we thought they weren't going to cut. What do we get for going back to cutting mode?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin and crypto have been disappointing because they really took it in the gut in mid-October, and then kind of got hit again when you're right. When the odds of a Fed cut dropped, Bitcoin fell. And then now that the odds have recovered of a cut, they haven't quite recovered. I mean, I think that that's still the lingering effects of that deleveraging that happened on October 10th. It's not that different than the wipeout that happened in 2022 with FTX. That took 8 weeks. So we're kind of emerging from that. That's 7 weeks in the rearview mirror. So maybe in another week or two, I think crypto has fully washed out, and that's when it starts to participate.
Yeah, wipeout's a bad word. If you could pick another one next time, Tom, we don't.
No one has told me, and I've tried to reach out to CNBC for a response. What did he mean by wipeout is a bad word? We don't like it. If you could use something else next time. There's some hidden speak there. If anyone knows what that is, let me know. I don't know what that was all about. Should I just rewind that? A little moment there. Something happened there this morning at CNBC, and I want to understand it. And no one has told me yet what that is. I do have friends there, but I've not been able to get anyone to confirm what was meant by that comment. Listen again.
Another one next time, Tom. We don't. You had very aggressive targets.
He brushes over
it. It's fully washed out, and that's when it starts to participate.
Yeah, wipeout's a bad word. If you could pick another one next time, Tom. We don't.
Anyone know? Anyone have any idea what that was all about? Anyway,
you had very aggressive targets for the S&P and Bitcoin by the end of the year. I mean, it'd be crazy to hit the Bitcoin target, for example. I don't know what that was, but 7,000 on the S&P is still something you think that can happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, 7,000 is only 2% for
7,000, 100% going to set 7,000. People are saying in the chat, yeah, that's a bit suspect. Let me tell you how important this stuff is. It really, really, really is important. These words and this language, it might mean absolutely nothing to you, but it means everything to those that understand what's going on. So these words are sending signals that you are not even aware of, but it is important, and it's why I pick these things up. When I have conversations with these people, words mean everything. All right, let's carry on.
For S&P, from here, I think 5% or maybe even 10% is possible in December. So I think 7,200, 7,300 is likely for S&P.
We can't have 10%.
I ask you not to do that. You're giving me a target and a time. Don't. It's not good for your career. Don't do that. You're going to be wrong one of these times. But you don't care, do you? You've been right enough.
No, he hasn't.
Well, I'm just looking at probabilities, but you're right. We've been wrong plenty of times, Joe, so I'm okay being wrong too.
Okay. I never have been, really. I don't think so. That would be a big shocker. It happens all of us. How about Bitcoin? Would you think you'd be happy with 100 if it got back by the end of December, wouldn't you?
Yeah. In fact, I think it was looking good, like you said.
Now, remember, before he gives this answer, I've not heard this yet. I'm hearing it live with you for the first time. We've had 150,000 to 200,000 by the end of the year. Then it was 100,000 by January. Then it was 100,000 by the end of January. Let's see what he says now.
Said over the weekend, and then we got a decline, maybe because the Bank of Japan looks hawkish.
There's those words again, dump and decline. We got a dump, and he knows it.
But I don't think the 4-year cycle, I don't think the Bitcoin high is in place.
This is interesting. We've got Biden Harris. Yeah, some strange comment there. He's mostly wrong. I like Tom Lee. He's very, very smart, very clever. However, if you statistically look, he is mostly wrong. But because he's in a sector where everybody kind of just wants to hear something they want to hear, we took such a back flag. We took backlash. That was it. We took a backlash. When Sensei said crypto's going down, when I said crypto's going to crash, everyone hated it. People unsubscribed, unfollowed. I don't care. I honestly don't care. I'm not here to sell anything. I don't have training programs. I turn down $30,000 offers every single day from crypto projects to sponsor me. I turn them all down. Not interested. We're self-funding. I make money from investing and I make money from YouTube. I don't require to sell training courses. Our training courses are for free. They're on our newsletter. I also, don't take sponsorship. So, at the end of the day, everybody's in it for themselves. Apart from what we're doing here, we are here to help people. So Tom Lee is often forgotten about what he says because people in this space tune in, and I know this. They search Tom Lee directly. They'll type Tom Lee Fundstrat on in the CNBC feed to try and hear what he says because they like to hear him say it's great. They just want to feel good. People don't want the truth. They want to feel good, and that's great. But trust me, I feel great being right, not feeling great when someone says something that I want to hear and it's not right, because what's good about losing your money? That's why I don't lose on my trades.
But you're right. We were too optimistic about this happening by December, but I do think Bitcoin can make an all-time high by the end of January. I don't think we should think the highs are in place for Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto. So a lot of it's going to depend on...
You might notice he hasn't mentioned Ethereum. Ethereum is supposed to go to 12,000 by the end of the year. That's a 5x. Imagine Coca-Cola 5xing, 5 times its market cap in 4 weeks. Think about it. Of course, anything's possible. I'm not saying it's not. It certainly is. But it would be something miraculous, to say the least.
Equity's recovering, which we expect it to. And that helps the animal spirits. And I think a new Fed chair will help. And we have, as Becky said, when people got worried about a hawkish Fed, that kind of hurts the discount model.
Hang on a minute. Mike is doing a great job. He just deleted a comment from somebody called Nimarazel3280. So I've got a troll in the chat who's not his real name. Probably if I invited him to call in, wouldn't call in. And he said this: he's not a member. All right. He's not a member, doesn't give his own name. This is what he just said. And Mike did a great job hiding it. Thank you, Mike, but I will read it out. Yeah. We know. You're the best. You know everything. You always beat the market, and that's why you're a billionaire, right? Okay, shall we break that down? Number one, just got some made-up name, 3280, so you're not prepared to tell us who you are. Second of all, you're the best. That's your words. I don't think I'm the best, but I'll take it if you think I am. I don't think I'm the best. Next one, you always beat the market. For the last 2 years, I do. And I'll show you. I won't make this up. There's my position, stocks and shares, and year to date, I'm up 39%. So if you look at Berkshire Hathaway, BERK, I've beaten Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. If you look at the S&P 500, I've beaten the S&P 500. If you look at Bitcoin, I've beaten Bitcoin. So I'm sorry you don't like it, but it is what it is. All right. Now, as far as if I did beat the market, I'd be a billionaire. Well, that's a bit stupid, isn't it? I started 4 years ago with $5,000. My portfolio is now worth 284,000. No margin, no options, just the S&P buying undervalue when it's oversold. There you go. Take that as it is. It is what it is. Sorry you don't like it, but it is what it is. Sorry you don't agree, but what can I say? That's just how it is. Always beating the market, yes, and that's why you're a billionaire. Well, I'm not a billionaire because I started with $5,000, and I am where I am. I spent about 40 years of my life touring the world as the world piano man. But I've done okay. Anyway, let's come back. I love these trolls. They talk bloody rubbish half the time.
Models.
All the time, in fact.
The discounted cash flow models like AI models, but it hurts crypto models too. So if we have a dovish Fed, that's really a tailwind.
Tom, is there a point, though, Joe and I were talking about this in the last block, is there a point where a Fed that's too dovish scares the markets because they're worried about inflation?
Absolutely. That would be bad if the Fed drop rates just to appease the market, but they're not going to do that.
Yes. The markets don't want the Fed to lose credibility.
There you go.
And the bond market will kind of protest if the Fed is too dovish. But I think when I look at Fed fund futures, especially implied inflation, the bond market's more dovish than the Fed. So it looks like the Fed is behind, and that's why I think cuts are necessary.
Are you in town? Where are you?
Yeah, it's pretty. I was just thinking this.
I'm actually in Tokyo. Otherwise, I'd be visiting with you in person.
So there we go. There's Tom Lee. I hope you enjoyed that.
Otherwise, you'd be here. I was wondering.
What we're going to do now, we've got a few moments to go. We're going to ring the bell. There we go. We're on a break, as you can see. We're about to ring the bell. Let me go and refresh that screen. It's spinning around. Let me refresh that screen. For some reason, we're spinning around. Let's refresh that. We're going to ring the bell. There you go. That's better. There you go. We're going to ring the bell in a few seconds. Sometimes that happens. There you go. We've got 8 minutes to go. Let's go back more to Michael Saylor. After we've rung the bell, we're going to go members only. To continue the subject, I've got some more information for you on XRP and Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Some more details, which you'll be able to read tomorrow in the newsletter as well. For our members, we want to give our members the heads up before the morning. So we got most of our live viewers are members, so we try to do members only events right at the end. It'll continue where you are. It'll just go members only in a few moments time. So let me just have a bit more from Michael Saylor. I want to bring this to you, see what Michael has to say. Let's go a bit more of this, if we may.
When the SEC loosened the restrictions on derivatives trading on IBIT, the open interest in IBIT went from 10 billion to 50 billion in a few weeks. So you're talking about tens of billions of dollars of demand for the asset based upon the embrace of the traditional finance establishment. And so the asset class is being driven by the structure of support in the banking industry and in finance, and a few regulatory changes that are actually enhancing that support for the asset.
Now, I want to turn to digital asset treasury companies because many people I interview call you the OG. Back in 2020, Strategy made its first Bitcoin purchase, more than 21,000 Bitcoin for a total of about $250 million, I believe. And ever since then, other companies started to follow suit, but we saw this acceleration of DATs, especially this year. And so I'm wondering, do you view these digital asset companies as competition? Are you fazed by this at all? Obviously, you have a massive head start. Or do you see all the copycats as a form of flattery?
Yeah, well, you're right. We were the first, and then there were a handful, and then about a year ago there were 60, and then there were 120, then 180, and now there's more than 200.
Just want to thank Crypto Prince 1969 for becoming a silver member. You can upgrade or downgrade at any point. I may suggest, as you are silver, the best value membership without a shadow of a doubt is actually the Electrum, because it also includes exclusive events every week. We have 2 Electrum events every week. Every Sunday, we do a trivia quiz where you're learning all about charts and crypto. We have a live game show where you're actually learning all about crypto and charts and the stock market and so on. You get exclusive events. So Electrum is by far, if you're going to silver, I think it's $1 more, and you've got Electrum. It is by far the best value membership. Anyway, let's continue with this. We're going to ring the bell in 4 minutes, and then we're going to go to members only, live Q&A, and more questions for all of you. All right, here we go.
Generally, I'm a big proponent of any company holding Bitcoin as digital capital on its balance sheet. I think that's good for the company, and that's good for Bitcoin. That's good for the crypto economy. Our business has evolved from a company that simply owns Bitcoin to a company that issues digital credit against the underlying Bitcoin. So today, we're the largest issuer of digital credit in the world. If thousands or tens of thousands of other companies buy Bitcoin, that will be good for Bitcoin and good for our business. So it's helpful. Out of those 250.
I do apologize. We just had a super chat come up on the screen. When you do a super chat, it normally plays. We're having a technical issue why it's not playing. We should be getting super chats on the screen. Let me just do this. If I do a little test, I don't know why it's not playing. Let me do this. Yeah, for some reason, let me just do this a minute. Someone has just asked me about the newsletter. I'm going to do this. I've got to check this. We've had a slight, because, I've been away and a few things have changed. Let me just make sure. Oh, I see. That's stuck there. All right. I can see what's happened, so I understand it. But let me fix it for you. So this is one of our guests, actually. It's not a member, it's a guest. Let me put it on the screen. I'm sorry it didn't play out. We'll have this fixed by tomorrow, I'm sure. But this is from Robert. Robert Rose said, $1.99. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Where do I find the newsletter? Info earlier was great. You get a newsletter every single day on an app, on a browser, in your email, every single day. This is like 6 days a week now. In fact, 6 days a week this comes out. There's a lot of information in this newsletter, but you want to know how to get it? Here is the link. There it is. It's a free trial. And if you get the newsletter, you can get it for free. All right, a free trial. But you'll also get tickets to win $2,000 completely free. No purchase necessary. Now, no download necessary. You can actually win some $2,000. We're going to pay it out in XRP, by the way. All right. Someone just said crypto is bouncing back. Let's have a little look. XRP, it was down as low as 1 point. Yes, it is a little bit. I'll give you that. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let's carry on with Michael Saylor. We got 1 minute to go before the bell goes. I want to ring it. The overall portfolio is just dropping the S&P a little bit. But anyway, let's go back to this. I sorry about the super chat's not playing, but hopefully we'll get there in the coming days. Yeah. It's a bit weird. I'll fix it. Don't worry about that. Right. Let me go back to Michael Saylor, and then we're going to ring the bell in just a few moments. Okay, so here we go. Let me bring this up again. Going to ring the bell in 1 minute. Let's hear more from Michael.
The crypto asset companies or crypto treasury companies, only a couple are in the business of issuing
Crypto Prince is now Electra member. Congratulations. I'll explain more in a moment.
Issued a treasury credit instrument about a month ago. And then Metaplanet, the biggest Bitcoin holder in Japan, that actually just issued their first digital credit instrument. So there's 3 of us that are in the digital credit market. There's probably 200 to 300 that are holders of crypto assets. It's all good for the crypto economy. They'll all benefit. But the exciting thing in the market right now is digital credit.
Now, your strategy of accumulating Bitcoin made Strategy the best performing company for some time, and many other companies followed suit. But why do you think we're seeing so many deaths arise specifically now?
It starts to work alongside Google.
Before November
maybe some of the other
last year,
bell.
before
Here
the
we go.
maybe they take
Let's ring the bell.
now to NVIDIA coming back to the party.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was sort of the
3,
adjacent power
2,
stuff where it
1.
wasn't even going to be coming online for years. That has been really sidelined for the moment, anyway. Whereas, it
Bella's
seems like
gone.
there's enough capital flowing.
Let's have a quick look.
That, NVIDIA's got the orders visible in the books. Obviously,
Okay, we'll get the bell, and we'll also then go through some live charts. There we go. Another wonderful day. I hope you've all improved your positions. Remember, it's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. There we go. Awesome stuff. Let me show you where we are, and then I'll go through. I'll continue Michael, and then we go to our members' own event. Right. So as you can see, we're slightly down today. I'm down 0.47. The S&P is very slightly down today. Well, actually, it's quite down a lot. That's quite a lot for the S&P, down nearly 0.5%. Virgin Galactic is down 1.94. Palantir is down 0.5% today. We've got gold is up slightly today. Nice. Amazon is now up and going up. Apple is soaring today, just down slightly in the after hours, but a nice day for Apple at 1.6. What you may have noticed is the index is broadening. So it's coming out of certain tech and it's broadening into the index. So even if we do get a little bubble, AI bubble, the money will go out of one into another. That's why at the moment the best place to be is in the S&P, which is why I'm there. Coca-Cola This is one of my best calls ever. You remember we were buying this around 62. A lot of my members made a lot of money. One of you called in this morning, Justin Duke, made $10,000 on this call. He did very well indeed. J&J, I gave you the $200 target. It passed it. Chevron Oil is up today. Tesla doing nicely. We got direction from Tesla, up slightly. McDonald's is down, but now up in the after hours. Google, what did I always say? This and Nvidia were the two best of the tech sectors if you're looking at valuations, balance sheets. And what happened? Warren Buffett, who lives on balance sheets, what did he do? He bought Google. What happened? Google rallied. Was I right? Yes, I was right again. Not because I'm right all the time. I just read balance sheets. Most people don't. They don't want to. They're sponsored and told what to read, what to say. I just read, oh, it's working. Oh, hello. This is my test from earlier. They are.
Kevin donated $51.
There you go. This is my test from earlier. Oh, God. It might do it a couple of times. Anyway, never mind.
Kevin donated $5 through a super chat.
Good old Kevin.
Is a test super chat message.
Yeah, that's Meet Kevin. He gives me money all the time. This is my test earlier. There is a delay in the system. Anyway, Microsoft is down. Nvidia. Great, you see. I told you it would go 200. It went to 200. It's not yet been priced in any of its success from its amazing earnings, by the way. None of that's been priced in, so it's doing really great, actually. I don't know why. Well, we know why it's down, but it doesn't deserve to be down. Walmart doing terrific. Tilray Brands, there's no value whatsoever. Gamblers just keep telling me, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. They're all talking absolute dross. It's not going to happen. How many times have I told you? I had a direct link from the White House press room, but no one listened. I gave you the exact price to the exact minute. You remember that when I told you what it was going to do? Anyway, Robinhood is down. Rocket Lab is up after hours, but down today. Too expensive, essentially. Plug Power. Russian manipulation. I know I get attacked from this all the time. I told you, do not buy it. Do not buy it when it goes under $2. It's better to buy it over $2. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Under just isn't going anywhere. Bitcoin starting to come up, but still down today, 0.45. XRP dipped way below $2 today, but now making its way back up again slowly. Ethereum, $12,000 by the end of the year. That's what Tom Lee said. I don't know. That would be some tall order. Anyway, there's going to be more from Michael Saylor. There's going to be more Q&A. We're going to go through all the comments and questions. Now, this is a new feature on YouTube. So are you ready? Have you all tapped the like button? Have you all subscribed? We're giving you the chance to win $2,000. It's completely free. Free to enter. Free for all. No purchase necessary. This is the giveaway. You may have done all these things already on previous giveaways. Just go and claim your tickets. There is the link to the giveaway. Straight after this, when I finish, we've got the 24-hour stream with on the extra channel. And right now, it's what you've missed before. Sensei is doing this. Sensei is covering the Ripple event. You might want to listen into this. A lot of great information that will follow this. It's a replay from what you've seen before. You may have seen it or not, but the chat is live. You can talk in the chat and continue live. What we're going to do now, though, is go through comments and questions. I'm going to answer everyone's questions. You can call into the show, and I'll put every comment on the question and answer every single question that I can. So there's a new little feature here now. So if I press this button, we automatically switch over to a members-only event. So you don't need to go anywhere. You stay right where you are. And if you are a member, you can watch and join in. If you're not a member, you can't. All right. It's to honor our members who support the live stream. We don't make any money from live streams. You make it from videos. And nearly everything I do is members. And I live off basically my investing strategy, but I also live off memberships and super chats. So to honor our members, there's the membership link if you want to become a member in the chat. But I'm now going to switch over to members only. Oh, look, the subscribe button's working now. Maybe the super chats will work. I've never done this. I saw Sensei doing it while I was away, so I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a go. Let me see if I can make it work. I press one button and we'll continue for another 15 minutes. for members only, and then it will go over to the extra channel. So apparently you press this button here. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to press it and see what happens. There is an existing redirection. Okay, so I have to cancel the redirection. I didn't know that. Let me cancel the redirection then. I didn't know that. All right, stream settings. We'll go members only now. Customization. Now I can go for all the questions now. Let me delete that. Let me click save. So I'm going to find out what happens. You ready? I have no idea what happens. Okay. I'm going to end the poll first of all. There's my poll. 563 votes. It says 60% of you are not nervous. You should be. If you're not nervous about investing, you're doing it wrong. We've got another poll here on our community page. This is the one that trends on Google. You might like to take part in this. I will answer all your questions in a moment. I see people answering questions, giving me questions about things. So I'll do it in a second, in our members only session. Here's our poll. The result of our poll is, are you nervous? Yes, 30%. 57% say no, 13% undecided. That's really bad, folks. You should be nervous. And we have another poll running on X. If you've not yet voted, here's my X. I'll give you the link right now. There you go. If you want to vote on the poll, we have our giveaway, our $2,000 giveaway. And we also have the poll you're saying. I'll refresh that. I'm sure that's gone up a little bit. It says here that, 37 votes. No, 67%. More people on X. That makes sense because everything on X now is just rubbish, false information, everybody lying about everything. So that doesn't surprise me. Everyone just permabull on anything. It's just crazy. But we do have a much more reliable poll here, but still too high, I think. Anyway, so there you go. So let's try this now. Let's see what happens. We're going to go members only. I'm going to answer everyone's questions. So let's see what happens. Members only live stream. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens when I press the button. Oh, I see. All channel members. Oh, starts in 5 minutes. Oh, I like it. There you go. That's what I do. Did it come on the screen? Oh, we got a new member. Peter Scantz, how are you? Let me see. Did it work? I've never done this before. Sensei and Vaz have been doing this while I've been away. Did it work? What do you see? Oh, yeah, I can see it. Look here, look. In the top-hand corner, it says a goal. What's the goal? I don't need a goal. I'm not doing a goal. What's that? What's that mean? There you go. Members only live. There you go. Scheduled. When the timer runs out, members are redirected automatically. Everyone else has the option to become a member at the level you picked. Cancel members only. There you go. All right, so cool stuff. And then we'll go through all the comments and questions. You can also phone in if you want to as well. Let me make sure that's live. There you go. Right, back to here. All right, so we're going to go into more detail. Now, in the morning, Sensei show, Sensei will be live at 6:30 Central Standard Time or 12:30 UK time. Sensei is going to cover in much more detail XRP and Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything crypto related in the morning with charts and much more from the newsletter. So make sure that you've got the newsletter for the morning. There's a newsletter and it gives you the chance to win as well some $2,000. Right then, so let me start with some members' comments. I'm just going to zoom up a little bit. We'll do a lot more of this and a lot more information in the members section. Oh, William Bond is giving away memberships. Please do thank William Bond. He's just bought memberships. That's incredible. He's just bought memberships for you. So if you've just won a membership, please do thank William Bond. That's very kind, mate. Anyway, my portfolio got crushed by MSTR. I can understand that. Good evening, says James 007. Munish 8078. I held strategy from 322. Crushed. Paul Deal. We got Crypto Prince became our Electrum member. Make sure then that you look out for Electrum events. Electrum and Gold and upwards have special events twice a week. On Sunday for the game show, where you learn all about charts and everything else, and stocks and crypto. And also there's another Electrum event every week. All right, so there's 2 events a week. All right, hello, good to see you back. Thank you, Teresa. I'm very excited to tell you folks that we have 13% of our audience now are ladies, higher than any other channel that covers crypto. Most crypto channels have about 1% ladies. We have, I think, 13.8% ladies. It's fantastic. Teresa, thank you so much indeed. There's Liz. Thank you, Liz. James, silver is the way to go. LOL. You went Electrum in the end. Totally right. Good evening, Liz. The human being called Liz. I love that. Did you sell crypto wallets and earn 350? Did you sell crypto wallets? I don't sell anything. Everything is free. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to buy one of my mugs, t-shirts. You can watch for free. The training programs are for free. Our giveaways are for free. I don't need to sell. I'm not sponsored by anyone. Is ETH upgrade? We'll pump it. Ethereum upgrade doesn't do nothing. When we had Lightning 2, what happened to Lightning? The price of ETH? Nothing. Upgrades do not make the underlying asset more valuable. Crypto is bouncing back to high energy. Hope your wife is well. Thank you. She is. Thank you. Much appreciated. It's been a very tough time, but thank you. Robert, thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose. Martin is back. Now I can get back to investing smart. Well, we will look at the balance sheet for you. I don't lose on my trades. There's no reason why you should. The bell's gone. Zach Zay and Steam, thank you for that. Vanessa is here. They're just something about Michael Saylor I just don't trust. I would say there's something about Michael Saylor you don't understand. Might be good. All right, 20 seconds to go. We're about to go to members only in 19 seconds. So if you're a member, stay right where you are. It'll continue for you. Everybody else, it's now time to say goodbye. I will see you in the morning. Okay, members, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay where you are. It's members only time.